everyone, and welcome to a new video. So today's video is going to be very different. This is something that I've never done before on Bloxburg. So this video is going to be showing you some tips and tricks and some things that I use on my real life home. So one of my first tips to say is that whenever you're building a Bloxburg home, I do recommend building a home that is real life. And the thing that I say is that whenever you build a real life home, you know how many rooms and the layout, the floor plan, you know exactly what it looks like. But if you create a home that is, let's say, out of thin air, as most people do, you never really know the stopping point to that home. How many rooms am I going to make? How many floors are going to be? What is the backyard? What is the front yard going to look like? It's a lot of things that do come into play. And I do think that a lot of people don't really have that idea of what they really want. So when I first joined Bloxburg about 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, I'm not too sure, I had created a custom home. And I started adding a bunch of rooms, I added a bunch of floors, and it just came up to be a complete mess. So yes, my first tip is trying to build a real life home. So like going on like realtor apps, going online, going on YouTube and looking up like home tours of beautiful homes and just trying to use the best of your knowledge to replicate that home. So my home is a real life home. It is a real life home. The exact layout, the exact floor plan, the same everything. So, when I did build this home for the first time, I already knew exactly what to do. With like the rooms, the second floor, the kitchen, etc. And so my next trick, or whatever you might call them, is how to make your home more realistic. So whenever I watch YouTube videos, they never really get into depth on how they do certain things. They just kind of like fast forward the speed build. It's like, no, like let's take our time. I want to see it like step by step. Like don't just rush, because then I have to like slow the video to see what you're actually doing. So one of the ways you can add some more detail whenever it comes to building a home is, let's do this. Let's add a floor. Oh, I already have a floor because it's snow. Oops, accidentally took a screenshot. So one of the first things you want to do is go to, I think it's called wall trim, and it's going to be this one right here, a flat baseboard. So this is something that I see a lot in homes. So even in your own home, there's flat baseboards, where the walls are at. So just adding this in your home is gonna add some things that make it look very realistic. So my general rule for this is that if you're creating a room, use this. But if you have a home that's very open space, like the living room and kitchen that connects to the front door, like in my house, do not use this one up here. You can use the ones on the bottom, the flat baseboard, yes, you can use those, but do not use the ones that go on top, which are these ones up here. This does not go into an open space area, only in like bedrooms, movie rooms, or whatever. That's where it goes. It does not go in a kitchen. It does not go in a living room. That's 2 floors. If you build a second floor with a high ceiling, you don't want that. You just want the flat baseboards on the bottom and everything. And the next thing you want to do is come over here to decorations. I don't know I know it's an outlet, but I'm not sure if Bloxburg has it under that. I think I might have to steal it over here. Is it over here? What is it called? let's go upstairs. I know it's in this room, of course, I know. Oh, it's not even in that room. So embarrassed. So it's electrical outlet. See, I typed in outlet, but it did not pop up. So an outlet too is something that you can put into a room that makes it look even more realistic. And I kind of don't like it to be too high because, as you know, in real life homes, you do have a window that is above an outlet. Generally, that's what it is in a lot of the homes that I usually see. So if I find like a little window like this, let's put it on here regularly. See, it's either too low or too high, but remember, we are using space on the bottom as a flat board. That's taking up space. So what I like to do is do this. Make sure it's on this one right there. This is a good placement to put an outlet as compared to this. I think that's way too high. If not, you can do it like maybe one more. So yeah, so once you put the window on, it does look a lot better. But you can always customize these windows, make it a lot smaller. So this is what I usually do. See, that looks a lot better. So you got the flat baseboard, you do have your window under the outlet. And remember, whenever you're cleaning a home, it's best to use outlets. So have outlets, have your light switches. Let's go over here, switch. And this one too. And then if we're gonna go to like, let's say, what kind of door do you use? The doors that I use in my home they do vary. So this is the door that I primarily use in my Bloxburg house. I do want to use the traditional door, but it is way too thick. So it doesn't really, I don't know how to say it. It's a little tricky because the door is so thick. So let me show you an example. So if we go get that door, let's get this door. Okay. So look at this door and you see how it is one square. So let's go to a different door that is a traditional door. You see how it goes more over the square? As this one's more slim and, you know. There is certain situations whenever I am building something in my home and I do have not so many squares to accommodate this. Because if I have something that's like, okay, let's build like a little closet. Let's build a little closet like this. So if we use this door right here, it's perfect. And look, even on this sides, you do have extra space. But if we go to a traditional door that is much thicker, it is going to pop out. And that is not something that I do like. And another trick that I do like on my my kitchen is whenever I built this home, there was this, it's a counter and then there's an island on top. So kind of like a bar. So whenever you're cooking like in the kitchens, you do have a bar so your guests can, you know, eat their food while you're cooking, or they're just walking around their kitchen, you know, eating snacks, you know, for parties. So let me go and show you exactly what I am talking about. So let's go to counters. So let's go to this counter right here. And you see how it's not an island. So if you put a chair, let me show you very visually. This video goes very in depth. I'm not gonna be wasting too much time. It's just to the point. So look at this right here. So let's say you have someone eating and you have a counter. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So what I normally do is that I collect a A basic shape is what I use. So we're gonna put down a square right here. We're gonna shrink it, and we're gonna make sure it's the same width, if not shorter. Let's do it a few. You can customize it as much as you want, so you can make it as big or as tall as you want. This little part right here, this is known as a bar. Not like the bar where you drink, but like a bar island or whatever you call them. So now we're gonna click this transform tool and pick it up. So let's put it right here. See, so this looks very perfect. This looks very perfect. This is very nice. And then now let's bring that chair up. So now this is more appropriate for your guest. So as they're sitting down here, you're, you know, they have some snacks, a drink, and you're over here cooking, you can face them. And I think this is something that I really do like. It does give you more space. So let's say, let me take a screenshot. So right here, you have all your food that you're cooking. You got your food, you got your appliances, you got your coffee maker, your ice cream maker, all that good stuff. And then up here, you have your drink, your food, and it's not being cluttered with this part. So that's why I do recommend this. And yeah, so that's another thing that I do use. So if we were going to create the perfect kitchen, that is something that I've seen in a lot of homes, is what they normally do is, let's get the counters. They do this. They get one counter, two counters, and then right in the middle, of course, is going to be your oven. And then on the sides, we have our two most important things. We got our fridge, and then we got double ovens if you want. So you can always remove this oven and put another counter, and just put like a little stove on top. So not really an oven, just the stove part. So you can have like more cabinet room. Remember, you can open the bottom counters. I believe you can. So let's go to the counters. Is it under cabinets? My favorite ones are going to be this one right here. This one's called a Craftsman fridge cabinet. So this is where you put your fridge or your double oven. I'm not making it too perfect, but yeah, so like right here, you can go to your appliances. And you can put this up here. So as far as double ovens, that is something that is very modern. I have seen this a lot on YouTube, and I've seen this a lot in real life homes. So how you are able to do that is this way. Let's fix this. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? This way. So this way you have 3 ovens. So whenever you do come into certain holidays like Christmas, Halloween, or, you know, if you're having a lot of role playing at your home with a lot of friends, you do have 3 ovens. You can cook like a lot of food. Remember, you can have those counters with the island facing the living room. And then on this side, you have your little dining room next to this kitchen. And the main heart of a Bloxburg home is the kitchen. That was one of my main focal points whenever you're making a home. And then let's say you're making like a little pantry in your home. You can either do it this way. So the way I made my pantry was this way. I made it this way, and I have this as well, this layout, not the same layout, but I have a layout. I have the layout right here. So you got your cabinet 1, your counter, second counter, your oven, a double oven, and then you got your fridge over here. So you got those 5 things, and then right here is your little pantry. And whenever you make a pantry, I just found out that they do have, what do you call it? Let me show you what my pantry looks like. So this is my pantry right now. So I have those 3 walls that I showed you. You got my door, and I have the traditional bookshelf cabinet with the wire mesh basket. So I got my drinks, my water drinks. I got some boba. I got my smoothies, Coca-Cola, Powerade, Witch's Brew, water, and then this stuff is kind of like extra stuff. So you got your lemon bowl, Halloween candy, another fruit bowl. This one is primarily for lemons, which is something that is more modern, especially in a lot of homes. So in the middle of the kitchen, they normally put like a lot of fruits, but for me, I love lemon, so I have lemon in the middle of my kitchen. And then on this side, you have your fruits. You have your fruits, your potions, your jars, and of course some chips. So yeah, it's really just about being very realistic and kind of, using a lot of the tools that are in here. So a lot of people are like, oh, there's not that much stuff in the Bloxburg. There's not too much stuff to make things realistic. There really is. You just really have to look and kind of go on TikTok, go on YouTube, and try to see what other people do, especially in speed builds. So whenever they use like a certain color, or yeah, especially with the colors, write them down. That's gonna be very important. So what I do is that I don't have linen. I have a certain color that I use. I just came across it recently. It's kind of like linen, but more brighter. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the traditional white light. Nobody uses this, let's be real. Nobody uses this. So this is linen. This is one of the colors that I had used for many years now, but I noticed that whenever I would show people my Bloxburg home, they would be like, wow, it's so orange and everything. And I was just like, I never really thought about it, like, wow, it really does look so orange, or not too bright as I would like a real life home. So I swapped it to this color that I saw on some YouTuber. So let's look at the difference. So this is linen, and this is the custom color. So it is a lot brighter, and it doesn't really give me that dark tint as much. But whenever we place like a lot of this, it does make the home look a lot better. Yeah, it gives it a nice color. And I always tell people, like, try not to use so much light in your home. You don't want it to be overexposed, especially with having a 2-story home. So with my 2-story home, I do have a lot of light in it. But one of the downfalls about that is that if I have the power on to the entire home, a lot of the light, let me go back. A lot of the light from the first floor over here will bounce up. So it's gonna make it a lot more brighter, given that I have these lights and plus these lights at top. So it's going to be very bright. So what I kind of do in my home is that I try to, only have the downstairs lights on. And so it doesn't get too bright. And another thing is, as far as for windows, I used to use traditional windows, but now I found out about these modern windows. These ones are very nice, very nice. And do you remember that you can custom these, like their sizes? So you can get like really nice designs. Very fond of that. You can make them small, you can make them wide, whatnot. I do like using these windows, and then in terms of color, we're going to use the same color as the doors are, so which will be that mid gray. Mid gray is very nice, very, you know, modern, I think. And then there's also two color options too. So you also have that smoky gray kind of color, which is also nice as well. And then you got your really deep black windows. And then over here you have your mid gray windows. So it really just depends on the feel of your home. So some of the things I did mention is, having the flat baseboards, adding some light switches, adding the outlets. These are things that are very easy to do and can drastically make your home feel very real, very realistic, and especially with the tall crown molding. This is something that is for rooms. It's not for kitchens that lead to the open dining room, to the living room. This is for rooms only. This is not for open spaces, like I said. So yeah. As far as for like driveways, I always use the same color that leads to the sidewalks, since it does blend in very well as compared to using a color that is not matching the sidewalks, because then it just looks, it looks a bit silly. And adding some lights for the pathway. And then right here we have our long carpet. So I wanted to use a certain square to use as pebble, but I'm like, no, I don't have time for that. So let's just make some carpets with a certain design. So yeah, that's what I did. So yeah, so let me go into the back. So back here is my basketball court, and I do have some light boxes around the thing. So I did want to use like light switches and poles for the backyard, but that was something that was not to my liking. So I did add some light boxes around here. Added some different colors. A lot of those colors were primarily from Inside Out. So like your green, your yellow, all those good colors. And I did kind of like space them out here. So this does give like a very cool effect. And then over here we got some little fences or metal shelving. And I have everything that I would need outside. I got my kites, my skates, some workouts. I got some protein, soccer, basketball. I got 2 of them. I have some water dispensers. When I get thirsty, I got some bubbles, some balloons. I got some snow. This are limited edition. Remember I said stock up. I got an exercise ball. So it is a lot of stuff that I could use for my outdoor area. And then I have my mini soccer field. Same thing as well. Let's add the little light box. I did add these right here. These little uplights, since it is on the grass, of course. And I think it came out very well. If I was going to make this home as the real one, it would just be the little kitchen over here, playground, that's it. But this is my Bloxburg home, so I am allowed to do whatever I do like. So I do have my garden over here. I got my playground. I got a little camping area. I love camping. Got my soccer field. I have my basketball court. I have a little hangout area right here. And I do have my kitchen right here. I think this kitchen does need some work. This is not appropriate in my head. This is not realistic, if that makes sense. I will for sure be fixing this for sure. So yeah. And another tips or tricks that I would say is that if you are making a home, the living room area should be a classic carpet design. So carpet for the living room, carpet for the bedroom, and then as you know, for like bathrooms or where the kitchen is, carpet doesn't usually belong there. So I would probably add some tile flooring. Let me show you. Let me show you. I don't want to expose too much of my home. I don't want to expose too much. Okay. So this right here, we have some gray, planks long. Planks long are very convenient because it is something that you see in a lot of homes and apartments, especially with that gray tile that has like little squares and is all like on top of each other, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but it looks just like this. So this one does give a nice feel to it. And then as far as like kitchens, let's try not to use something that's all the way up to the ceiling. I like to have something that's this way, so it's not all the way up. So let me show you exactly what I am talking about. So let's go to cabinets. Cabinets. Let me show you. Okay, so we have this one right here. And then we have this one right here. So it's really all about preference. I usually like to have smaller ones because I can't put stuff on top, whether that's like cups, decorations, whatever. You know, there is some nice stuff that you can't put on top, but it just depends on your preference. If you do want your kitchen to feel a lot bigger than what it is, then I would use the tall one. And as far as decorating, like a lot of the cabinets or that are see-through, let's go over here. Cabinets. So stuff like this. So how I would place, what I would do in this would be like adding plates, adding bowls, hot sauce and the spices, just whatever you feel like works best. So I try to have something that's like in each little area. I don't like empty places. But in my kitchen, I don't have none of this with the windows. So it is all closed up like this. This one right here. So yeah, these are my tips and tricks that I wanted to share with y'all. I think this is something that is going to be very helpful for you, especially when it comes to building your home. And like I said, try to build a home that is real life, something that you can get the blueprints for online. So whenever you're online, you know, look up houses, you know, around your area or in your city and try to see if there's like a blueprint so you know exactly what it looks like on the inside. So you know exactly how many rooms, how many bathrooms, how tall it is, what's in the front and backyard. So you know when the stop limit is. Bloxburg does have a lot of pre-built homes that you can use in its catalog. I'm not too fond of those, but they are resources there for you. So try to build something real. Try to build something that's very easy for you, and use those tips and tricks, the flat baseboards, the crown molding, the outlets. Try to make your home as real as possible. Remember, you are playing this game a lot of the time, so you want it to be everything that you want it to be. Especially with the kitchens, you know, make it realistic. Add your coffee maker, add your ice cream maker, add chocolate, use those fruit bowls, those lemons. Make it your home. That is the role of the game. Make it your home. Make it forever. This is your home. This home that I've had it for a few years now, and I am not changing it whatsoever. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.